Some of the most consistent advice I've seen given to managers hiring their team for the first time is some version of this. You have to find well-rounded people with no major weaknesses. Look for competent candidates, people who are flexible, versatile, and are generalists that can wear many hats to cover many areas. On paper, this just sounds like risk management. A team where everyone can cover for each other seems resilient, versatile, and low maintenance. But when the work needs somebody who can do something exceptionally well, this well-rounded team oftentimes has nobody who can really step up. Everyone is competent and adequate, but no one here is excellent at what matters right now. And the team leader is oftentimes left wondering why a group of very competent people keeps producing mediocre results. Does this scenario sound familiar to anybody, or does it ring any bells? Now, the advice to build a well-rounded team is sensible on the surface. There's a lot of good logic behind it. Versatile employees reduce dependency. If one person can only do one thing and then they leave, you now have this gap you have to fill. And if everyone has a broad set of skills, the team can absorb disruptions. They can switch roles and handle whatever the work throws at them. Small teams in particular can't allow for narrow specialists who can't handle tasks outside of their specialty. And most business schools reinforce this. MBA programs teach cross-functional competence. HR frameworks reward a broad range of skills. The job postings we see online almost hits an entire hiring list of 8 or 10 different competencies required for one position, such as analytical thinking, excellent communication skills, project management skills, technical knowledge, team leadership skills, all because organizations want people who can handle all of it. And at face value, this seems pretty wise. The world changes really fast. A specialist might be brilliant today and then obsolete in just a few years. Well-rounded generalists can adapt, be reassigned to new areas without a complete rehire. But Drucker disagreed with this approach. He stated, "Whoever tries to place a man or staff an organization to avoid weakness will end up at best with mediocrity. Great strengths always come with great weaknesses. You see, where there are peaks, there are going to be valleys. And a person who can do many things adequately is almost by definition a person who does nothing exceptionally well. Jack of all trades, master of none. Sound familiar? Organizations that staff to minimize weaknesses end up with teams that also have minimized performance alongside it." Drucker's hiring question is always on strengths. You see, he focuses on what can this person do uncommonly well. What they cannot do is secondary. It's a limitation, not a disqualification. The organization's job here is to make the peaks productive, not to find somebody without any valleys. Its job is to structure work so it can depend on each person's genuine strengths. You see, human excellence can only be achieved in one area or at the very most in a few areas. Weaknesses are not problems that need to be solved. They are realities we need to be organized around. Let's take the classic bank heist movie as an example. The crew isn't assembled by finding people who can do a little bit of everything. The planner of the heist doesn't say, I want versatile people. Ideally, everyone on the team should be able to crack the safe, drive the getaway car, and beat the security system. That would be a terrible crew. Cracking a vault requires a very specific, practiced, narrow level of expertise, right? Getting a car quickly through a city in street traffic with the police chasing you requires a different kind of expertise. Defeating a live security system under pressure is a whole other thing in itself. What makes the heist work is specialization. The safecracker needs to be the best safecracker available. Getting the crew out of the city falls on the driver, who should be the best at that job. Same goes for the camera hacker, the acrobat diving into vault, and so forth. Each person on this team has obvious gaps. There are things they obviously can't do. But the planner does not care about those weaknesses because the plan is built around what each person can do exceptionally well. Those gaps are covered by someone else's strengths. You see, a well-rounded crew guarantees well-rounded failure, at least for the bank heist. The vault is going to stay locked. The getaway car is not going to make it. The cameras are going to stay active and catch everybody. This job demands excellence at very specific things, and excellence is never evenly distributed. Your team at work is the same. The project has very specific problems that need to be solved, and those problems don't need generalists attempting to tackle them rather poorly. They need specialists with specific strengths that can make a difference for the project. So, if you're finding the ideas on this channel helpful, then you're exactly who we're trying to build this community for. Management as a liberal art is focused on realigning management to societal needs, showing that being an effective manager means delivering results that help improve people's lives and help keep our society functioning. If you want to keep evolving your leadership style alongside with us, please consider clicking that subscribe button and joining the conversation. It's the best way to make sure these insights reach more leaders like you, people who want to do things differently. Thank you. The purpose of focusing on strengths isn't to ignore weaknesses. It's to make those weaknesses irrelevant. Those are different things. An organization built around what people can do exceptionally well does not pretend there are no weaknesses there. The work is structured so that those weaknesses don't matter, so that the work gets done by whoever can do it best, so each person's limitations have no impact on the results delivered. However, there is one exception we need to be very clear about. Character and integrity, they are the only areas where weakness is a straight disqualification. As Drucker put it, character and integrity do not accomplish anything by themselves, but their absence is corrosive and corrupts everything else. Every other gap can be structured around, but this person without integrity cannot be. Now, the reason why most teams in the workplace are rarely built this way is because performance evaluations are often run the opposite way. Managers inherit an appraisal system built to diagnose what is wrong. They are auditing for fault, but then dressing it up as a development conversation. Drucker's alternative is simple. Ask what this person has done well, what they are therefore likely to do well, and what they need to fully utilize their strengths. Weaknesses do show up, but as context. They are just limitations to avoid and not the focus for correction. Jobs also need the same level of discipline. We have to keep them defined by what the task requires, not by who is currently filling the role. When you reshape a job around a personality, you also trigger a chain reaction. Other roles begin to shift, responsibilities blur, and the person who comes next in line inherits a position they cannot possibly fill because it was tailored to a unique individual. Over time, you end up with an organization where it's hard to tell what any job actually demands, and it's harder to staff based on merit or strengths. Objective jobs, defined by the task, are what make it possible to align a person's genuine strength to performance on the job. Now, some people might push back on this. They're going to say, oh, that works in a large organization that can hire specialists. I am managing a small team. Everybody here has to wear multiple hats. We have to cover for each other. I don't have the budget for a large team of people that can only do one thing. And that's a fair point, which requires a very precise response. I'm not disagreeing with you on this, but you see, the goal isn't to find people that can only do one thing and nothing else. On a small team, everyone handles a range of tasks. That is fine. What Drucker is arguing is that you need to hire for peaks, looking for the specific strength that can produce exceptional results for a given role. and then structure the work to maximize that strength. If you don't know what each teammate does uncommonly well, you're never going to be able to fully utilize what your team is capable of. Take, for example, filling an outreach role on a sales team. Strong people skills are what the job lives and dies on. The candidate who is magnetic with clients but disorganized will always outperform the well-rounded candidate who's decent with people but compensates for that by being pretty good with spreadsheets. Decent doesn't close deals, and Excel mastery here doesn't make much of a difference. That task can be reassigned. What Drucker wants is for us to know what the roles require and staff for excellence in those areas. So the next time you're hiring a new team member or doing a performance evaluation, ask yourself, what does this person do uncommonly well? And if you can't answer it confidently, you either don't really know what the role requires, or you might not know your people well enough. This is a sign that the organization has been staffing to avoid weakness rather than building towards excellence. What do you think? Does this match your experience in leadership? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you know a first-time manager who is building their team and wondering how are they going to hire people, please send this video to them. That's how this channel grows. And more importantly, that's how Drucker's ideas get into the rooms where decisions are getting made. Please click like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more. As always, thank you so much for your time and attention. I will see you next time.